all kind of conditioned from.
The South African Jan Potgieter now making his way down this course in Pietermaritzburg. Really dusty and blown out of the top notch. That rain, when good it's done, is now gone, I think, don't you? Looking
sure,
really
yeah.
dry and blown out up there.
That top section is really blown out, and that's probably what caught out Man and Carpenter in the women's race.
Yeah.
Rob, and as we said earlier, you've got to be really careful up there before. If you blow that section, it doesn't matter how hard you pedal in the middle, your race is done. So you've got to get it all perfect. But you can hear the South African crowd now. Rob just going wild for Johan. This is going to push him into the finish line. What's he going to have for him?
He's going to go fastest night. So Potgieter comes down 4.338. Potgieter sets the new time to beat 4:13.719. A great ride from him, punches the air, and that was a good ride from him there. So back to the top for Christian Texter from Germany. I can tell you now that he's making, like I said, some big rocks there, Nige, as well. It's difficult, that first part of the course there. Straight in, a couple of seconds, and, 69.9 back, but still got plenty of style. 45 dead through the speed trap. But, yeah, that very start of the course is like one right-hander, less than 5 seconds in, and you've got some big, big rocks to deal with. Not easy at all.
No, it is the top section of it is the most technical part of the course, the most downhill orientated, and the most, typically what you would find on a World Cup downhill. It's really tricky, and you've got to get your line style. You've got to hit every line perfectly, or if you're offline, you clip a rock over the bars, you slide out in the corner. That's the most important part of the track at the top to get right. Then you've got to get on the power in the middle section. But yeah, Christian just dropping into 4th place, so a solid ride from him, the German rider.
So the top 5 at the moment. Potgieter there from South Africa, 4:13. The time to beat at the moment. Aola from the USA there, second, 4.3 seconds back on a 14. Jasper Joich there from Germany in 3rd. Texter in 4th. Hamilton in 5th. Bender in 6th. Milivinti in 7th. Giacomosi in 8th place. And they're the only guys we've had down at the bottom at the moment. So go back now and take a look at this man. The German rider, number 70, Sieber.
You can see how hard packed that course is, Rob, at the bottom of the track. It's such a different type of surface than it is at the top. You've got that dust and all the loose stuff at the top, and then down here it's like a motorway, Rob. It's so hard packed.
It is, unbelievably, yeah. So he goes 3rd, 4.5 back for him. A good run. But like you say, Nigel, these are a lot of riders we don't normally see at World Cups, or certainly don't make the live feed at a World Cup, do they? The top 30,
Yeah, that's
the
it.
world brings all sorts out. This man from Ecuador, Mario Jose.
But you can just see, Rob, how dusty it is. TV sound system there, got great sound there. We can hear the wheels just slipping on that dust and hitting the rocks. That's such an important section. If you've got those light, fast-rolling tyres, that's where it can really hit a rock wrong there, be inches off your line, hit a sharp rock, punch your game over.
Especially Nigel as well, because to combat the pedalling on this course, a lot of the riders, a lot of the teams decided to go for very lightweight tyre casings. And we have seen a lot of punches in practice. Aaron Gwynn had one actually yesterday during the timed run, for instance. But as we watch Mario Jose Yarin Molina come down, second, 1.958 back. Good ride from him. But yeah, probably the first World Championships we've ever seen where we've had different bikes that have actually been made specifically for this course.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a bit of that back in Canberra, the World Championships there, because that was although it was a much shorter course, it was a similar type of course. It wasn't too steep, it wasn't the biggest mountain. There was a lot of pedaling and carrying speed, which was so important. So a few guys were kind of adapting trail bikes and different things to try and gain those couple of seconds. But as it turned out, Steve Peat won that Greg Minard second, both on downhill.
Yeah, and it's going to be, I think it's probably going to be the same day again. Smith actually riding a new bike that's in development from Da Vinci, short travel, 175 up front, 165 on the back end of it.
Yeah, Stevie and Nick Beer, they have a great bike for this event.
650B wheels.
Yeah, I mean, Da Vinci, they've stepped it out there, spent some extra money in development, and yeah, they've got a good bike for him, as you said before. you know, Stevie's been having great success on his current downhill bike, so they brought that geometry over and made it into a lighter weight, less travel bike with the 650B wheels. RockShox came through and got them a box of forks to fit that bigger wheel and reduce the travel to 175 on the front, because, you know, Stevie thinks that that's as much travel as he needs on this type of track, which is super fast. It's not the gnarliest track, so I think that is a good bike, and it showed in the timed training session. So yeah, you know, sometimes just this, you know, the extra effort that these companies can put into a bike, it could pay off at a race like this, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it might well do today. We'll find out later on as Riesco, number 66 from Canada, cleanly over that big finish line hit there into the corner. He's going to cross the line. He goes 6, so it's still Johan Potgieter there. The time to beat with a 4:13. 10 seconds off that time set by Stevie Smith yesterday night in time training of a 4:03. And then if you want to know the top 10, it was Mitch Ropolai second on that 29er Enduro bike. Giatherton was third, 2.5 back. Hannah in fourth. Hannah, interestingly enough for me, fastest split number 1.
By a big margin, 2 seconds up.
Yeah, by exactly. And I got a feeling he would have backed off on there, because, you know, he did what he needed to do. I think Mick's pretty confident in his power and pedalling prowess down through that middle section. So he turned it in there, I would say, to take that 4th. And to me, the big danger man this afternoon. 5th, it was Minaj. We take a look at Johan Potgieter, the South African rider, in the hot seat. Blenkinsop in 6th from New Zealand. Jared Graves, the Australian, another guy running a full-blown Enduro bike. That one with 26-inch wheels. Nick Beer in 8th spot. Gutierrez Villegas in 9th. Well, he's got some power. He just won the Gabanzo Crankworks Bike Festival, so there's a lot of pedaling on that one as well. And in 10th place, it was Marcus Pecco. 11th, Hart. Brannigan, 12th. Masters, Fishback. Petey there in 15th. Brosnan, Mullally, Tome, Simmons, and Bruni rounding out the top 20. So, going to be interesting to see this afternoon, Nigel. I don't think they came to the table with a full hand of cards yesterday, do you?
No, for sure. And here's the Swedish rider, Oscar Harnstrom. He's been struggling with a shoulder injury of late, Rob, so he's not probably at his A game coming into this World Championships, but he's giving it his all this afternoon. He's a little bit down on that split time, but, you know, he's doing his country proud here for Sweden. Let's see what he comes out with at the end of the race.
Of course, we're going up to the Scandinavia for the next round of the World Cup in a couple of weeks' time. And of course, I'm sure he rides a lot up there in Hafjell, Norway. So, Oscar Harnstrom coming down the line. He's going to be outside that time of Johan Potgieter. Potgieter holding on to it then. 7th place for him. 6.643 back for Oscar Harnstrom from Sweden.
But ex-motocross rider Oscar, Rob, he's not going to be afraid of those big jumps up there, I wouldn't have thought. And Alistair, riding for South Africa, comes out the gate now, Rob. He's going to have the home crowd behind him. You can probably hear them from the top of the course, Rob. They're going that wild for the South African riders.
Good to see so many South African riders here. Obviously a legacy that has been started by Greg Benar. Absolutely amazing rider, Greg Benar, as well. No doubt about it. I can't wait to see what he's going to do this afternoon. I wonder what's going through his head now, Nigel. He seems to be able to deal with pressure better than most.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, really, how long Greg's been on the circuit and been able to be at the top of the sport for, you know, in excess of the last 10 years. You know, we talk of Steve Peat a lot for his long career, but you know, Greg has been pretty much on the podium at every single World Cup as long as I can remember, Rob.
Yeah. Alistair Fay then 9th, 7.8 back. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, his career is almost unmatchable. It's incredible when you look at his percentage. I mean, you know, you look at him and then you look at G now, though. G has really stepped it up and, you know, on the podium as well. G definitely in the form of his life at the moment, Nigel.
Yeah, absolutely, Rob. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who can put one together out of all them big guys this afternoon. I mean, you've got G and Greg and Steve Peat even. You know, they're all quite similar, really tall guys, really good pedalers, really strong, and they're all good on the technical stuff as well. So they've got the full package. Then you've got the exceptionally strong guys like Mick Hanna, Jared Graves, who are going to really put the power down. And you've got riders who are extremely amazing in the technical stuff like Sam Hill. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, how it plays out this afternoon, Rob.
Yeah, no question about it. The World Championships from Pietermaritzburg in South Africa, the UCI Mountain Bike and Trials World Championships. You just joined us, Martin out there going across the line. 10 seconds back for him from Slovakia. But yeah, we were talking about different bikes, Nigel. I mean, it's even gone into details, isn't it? Specific bikes, a bit like mixed polygons, 1 kilogram lighter. Yeah. Than he recently got on that bike as well. I think in Andorra was the first time he rode it. They got rid of that big bearing that was had the swing arm that went around the bottom bracket on that bike, so they made that light for him. Mick himself dropped 20 pounds this winter as well. Yeah. Definitely looking towards, isn't it mad? They're looking towards one race, but not even one race, towards one run, which is, you know, now just hours, not even now, a couple of hours away. What time is it now? We're going to see the top guys down here around 4:30, I believe. So, yeah.
It is an interesting race, Rob. I don't think we're ever going to see as many diverse setups again, you know, a World Championship. It's an interesting time for the sport because there's development from all the industry coming out with bigger wheels. You know, then you've got to have different size forks, different frames to match those wheels. You've got to bring all the different tyres out, fit the different size wheels. So it's a lot of equipment for some of these teams to bring and to develop.
And some of them don't have money. So Bentley getting, Bentley getting a bit loose coming out of that second turn there as well. And we just saw Philip Polk, World Cup veteran himself there, going in the third spot, 3.964 back. But this kid's going to get some big shouts down there from South Africa, Nigel.
Yeah, a great style jumper is Tim Bentley. I saw a fantastic picture of him on one of the internet sites this week, doing a big 1-foot table over the hip after the end of the section. There he goes, tweaks a little table in there, Rob. Crowd's going to love that, and he's getting back on the pedals for the finish.
Fastest in split number 1. Has he been able to hold on to that advantage? He went back to 4th at split 2, 3.5 seconds back. No, he hasn't. So he dropped some time from that first split down. 6.449, he goes into 8th place. Yeah, and you know, rumoured, Nigel, I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard it from a couple of pretty reliable sources that Gwyn has actually, they put 650B wheels in that bike of his here this week as well, for this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, the Specialised guys have got a lot of diverse bike setups on their Specialised. They've got 27.5, they've got 26-inch downhill, you know, demo bikes. Aaron Gwyn's got a 26 and a 27.5 demo. I think he's been swapping back and forth in training, and I think it looks like he's opted for the 27.5. You know, the thing is that some of these companies are rushing getting development stuff into this race, and maybe some of the riders haven't done as much testing as they could have done on certain tyres and certain wheel sizes as they would have liked to. So it is a bit of a gamble on what bike you go with. But I think after a few runs, Rob, you know, you can get the feel of what's working for you and what isn't.
Absolutely.
I think Mitch Roppolato, you know, went for that 29 as Specialised, and he stuck with it from the get-go.
Okay, so Manuel Gruber now, leaving the start gap, and we just saw Emmanuel Pombo there from Portugal go again, the 6th spot, the rider previous.
But yeah, it's interesting going forward, Rob, you know, how the sport is going to go, whether we're going to end up with one wheel size that everybody, you know, says this is what we're going to stick with.
Personally, I think that this race and this season will probably signal the end of the 26-inch wheel as we know, which would be a sad old day to see it go, but I don't know. But the 27.5, it's not that much bigger, like as in it's not going to handle that much worse, but surely, well, I've never ridden one, but you know, it does apparently have much better rolling properties, and of course more grip as well, bigger tyre footprint. So, rider from Argentina now. Meow, I guess you'd say that. I bet he's never been called Meow before.
Probably not, no.
Let's call him Jeremiah, sending the big step down. Nicely over that 12.417 back, 40 kilometres an hour through the speed trap. And actually 19th at split 1, so already 10 seconds back at the top there. Good to see the luminous colours coming back as well.
Yeah, he's got a wild paint job on his bike there, Rob. Definitely stands out, doesn't it? But, yeah,
what things have you been doing, Nigel, on the nuke-proof bikes? Different crank lengths or anything like that to get more power down?
Yeah, this week coming into this race, you know, we've changed a few things up. We have an easily